Hello everyone, welcome back to some Skyrim, picking up where we left off. I played around with Faendal's stuff a little bit, so I think he'll be better, but like I went through a bunch of the tweet things, but like the one thing I don't know is the combat, I think, or no, I think it was.
You leave. Still here.
Yeah, come on, tweak options. Info, I do believe. Under perks, it gives me this, but like I can't interact with it at all. So like I don't know. Like I just don't know, Like if I go to update, this is how you level them up. But like it doesn't like let me pick perks for him as far as I'm aware. I mean, I'll have to do some research after this part, maybe play around with it a bit more. Once again, it's good to play around with it with Faendal because I doubt that I'll be keeping him around for too long. But if we sneak up here, we should be able to overhear.
That dark elf wants to go on ahead, let him. Better than us risking our necks.
What if Arbel doesn't come back? I want my share from that claw.
Just shut it. Keep an eye out for trouble.
Alright, so yeah, these guys here are talking about a guy we will meet later. Now, if we hadn't talked to Lucan about his claw, they would have actually been that conversation would have started the quest for the claw. But obviously, since we did, don't need to worry about it. The other thing is there is a couple unique things that well, technically there's two unique things we want from here. But that includes two quest items. Other than that, there's a skill book in here that we'll want, and that's more or less it in all honesty. Other than that, there's just going to be a bunch of miscellaneous crap all over the place to pick up, including looting all of these skeevers for their tails. So we got some alchemy ingredients, dead bandits, that skeever hat, gold. A lot of animals swallowing like fucking gold and gems and that. Like, you would think that those would be hard to swallow, but I guess not hard enough. Oh yeah, also fire apparently doesn't affect spider webs. You actually have to swing with a weapon or just walk through. There's some thicker ones later that you can use your spells on, and you actually have to get through them. Well, it doesn't need to be a spell, but either way. There is. But yeah, there's also one unique item in here that we actually can't get at the moment because you need to be level 18 or above for it to spawn in, which is interesting. But it actually plays into what I said earlier about there being a troll in here, or about how the one time I came in here I was a higher level and there was a troll in here, and that's actually how you get the item to spawn. You need to be a high enough level for the troll to spawn, and then when the troll spawns, a body spawns with the item on it. It's not an important item or anything, it's just a note. Oh yeah, but we can also watch this guy fail at one of the simplest puzzles in the universe. And now people give the puzzles a lot of crap, like obviously this is snake, whale. But here's the thing, right? What people don't understand is if they had made these puzzles harder, would people have really enjoyed it? Like, I know I would have. And there's some puzzles, there's at least one puzzle later that I can remember where you actually have to read a book. And we'll take the torch because then we'll have a torch. Where you need to read a book and use what the book says to figure out the order of stuff. And now that's a good puzzle. But here's the thing: there's a lot of dungeons that have locked doors in these puzzles. If they had done something like that for every dungeon, people would have eventually just got fed up with it and started looking up answers for it. I know that because I know a lot of I watch a lot of people play video games, and here's our one skill book that we wanted. So other than that, the last that we need, I was gonna say is at the end of the dungeon, but technically there's one thing at the end. Okay, that skeever just fucking left for some reason. Thank you. And goodbye. It would be nice if, like, you could get charged skeever meat for flaming them. They also die super fast. Like, there's... Hey, Faendal, you want to actually use the bow? Like, why is he punching like that? Did I fuck something up?
I've got your back.
Here. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. Alright, give that back to you. Hopefully that'll fix it so that it actually counts as you holding it. Something I did dicking around with the tweak options there must have fucked up his bow thing there, but whatever. Fixed now, hopefully. Guess we'll see if he starts firing arrows or not, but kind of wish that you could actually burn away these cobwebs, but you know, oh well. Paralysis, fireball scroll. Can I light the candles? Nope, sure can. I mean, they're lit up for a second, but... And there it goes. Fire actually stays on there for quite a while. Oh, yeah. Here's somebody shouting to us, looking for the, Which is also a weird thing. Like, there's also a chest in here, by the way. There it is. Like, he says the names of the people that we killed at the entrance to this, and yet they weren't named for some reason, which is kind of weird. So if you look in here, maybe you can't see it. There it is. A wounded frostbite spider. Yeah, what you got? Ooh, and it kind of bounced a little bit, but that's fine. Got 2 frostbite venom from that one. You also have this trapdoor here that you can't activate. There are some of those that we will find in later dungeons that you actually can activate, but not this one. In a second. Now, I'm actually going to do something I've never done with this guy before. Because I want to see what happens. Lockpick.
Get me out of here.
Desiccated corpse. Spider egg.
You did it. You killed it. Now cut me down before anything else shows up.
Why should I?
Yes, the claw. I know how it works. The claw, the markings, the door in the Hall of Stories. I know how they all fit together. Help me down and I'll show you. You won't believe the power the Nords have hidden there.
Now, I'm going to say this one,
Does
but
it
it
look
is
like
dumb.
I can move? You have to cut me down first.
And he's 100% true. Saying that is absolutely dumb.
It's
Because
coming
hand it
loose.
over first.
I can
It's like,
feel it.
now, here's what I'm going to do that I never normally do.
You fool. Why should I share the treasure with anyone?
I'm going to let him run off. Because I've never let him run off before, and I have no idea what happens if you do. Because obviously it can't fail the mission. Because there's not really... Because it's a main mission. You need that claw to progress in the game. So right there. That's another thing in like the one Let's Play that I was watching of this. I never finished it. I think I started 2 different Skyrim Let's Plays. I never finished them. From the same person. Does a lot of Skyrim. But yeah, obviously you do need him, or you need the claw that he has. And, the Draga. So if you go up to these guys, and you can search them, they're dead. And if they're in an upper bunk, they're dead. Guaranteed. If they're in an upper bunk, they're dead. If they're in a lower bunk, they may not be. Oh, I don't actually know why I took that. And they will get up and fight you. For the most part, you can tell if they have armor on, they're going to be alive. That does 14. How much is my... 21. Alright, well, that there. Ooh, Feindal fucking taking him out. To be fair, I did bump up Feindal's archery and light armor, and that's it. So, I mean, he probably does quite a bit of damage with that bow. But yeah, these guys here are pretty good for getting sneak skill ups. Because they sleep in there, and their detection while they're sleeping isn't great. Is that really what happens to him? That is what happens to him. He fucking dies from the fucking spike trap. So Arvel's journal. My fingers are trembling. The golden claw is finally in my hands, and with it, the power of the ancient Nordic heroes. That fool Lucan Valerius had no idea that his favorite stone decoration was actually the key to Bleak Falls Barrow. Now I just need to get to the Hall of Stories and unlock the door. The legend says there's a test that the Nords put in place to keep the unworthy away, but that when you have the golden claw, the solution is in the palm of your hands. So that's your clue as to... Whoops. Oh, I can't equip it, but I did take it. Forgot to look at it, though. But yeah. And that's what it is just if you look at the bottom of the claw, it gives you the... It gives you the combination that we will need later. And whoosh. Look at that, sneak attack damage. Ooh, this is a restless one. It's a little bit stronger. But if you can obviously get up there and get the first few hits on them, you have plenty of time to beat on them while they get up. I also do have the thing so that those guys, so that my followers will ignore traps on the ground in that. Now it says ignore traps, which is technically inaccurate because it just means that they can't activate them. And while cheating a little bit, obviously, the AI isn't nearly good enough to not have it, you know? Can't actually get any of those yet. I don't want to increase my heavy armor as of yet. The one-handed is... Do I care about this, though? I mean, that one is worthless. That one's not bad. That's not very good. What about the dual flurry? You know what? I think I'll just keep this perk for now. Ow! Bitch, punk. I think I may have just slapped Feindal there, but whatever. Nope, none of them are any good. What did you have? No, okay. There we go. Don't know why my hand was still out. Steel battle axe. Thank you. On hide armor. Here there should be a chest. Yes. Remember that one. For me. Locked one. Nope, not that way apparently. It's fine, I got 36 more attempts. That I hopefully won't need. And there it is. Take all that. Now we get these traps, which are a little bit harder to not get hit by, but that one's actually quite a short tunnel. Now I imagine that when it says followers ignore traps, it doesn't mean those traps, right? Because I mean, those traps just do damage. They're not something that really like activates. You also have these, which you can knock down. They make an explosion and then dump oil and fire all over the floor. Well, I mean, they don't dump fire. They dump oil and then set it on fire, but you know. In fact, there should be... Yeah, wait for them to come out a bit and then set it on fire. And the thing with that one is if you don't let them wake up, you can set that on fire. And then the oil will be burned up before he actually gets into it. Unfortunately, these guys were smart enough to Faendal took out that guy. No. So there is a honed ancient Nord axe, or honed ancient Nord weapons, as well as just the regular ancient Nord weapons that are significantly better, but I don't know if we're a high enough level for them to spawn or not. Mainly because I don't know exactly what level anything spawns at, so it's not really something I care about. You know, like, I'm gonna level up as I go. Still can't believe Arvel just dies to the trap. Like, he's supposed to be called Arvel the Swift, and then he dies to that fucking thing. And my destruction increased. Distant gold. Gold and magicka. Nothing there. There. This way we go. Right? Yeah. So yeah, this place here is apparently the first thing that they ever showed in a demo. Like, this was the first experience anybody had with the game, because when they had their demos, I'm assuming it was at E3 or a like event. Bleak Falls Barrow was what the people who got to play it played. Is they played Bleak Falls Barrow. Iron ore. I do believe you can also give your follower a pickaxe and make them do this. And then obviously it would go into their inventory instead of yours, but I'm aware of that thing though. But then, you know, you have to go through the whole rigmarole of... Right. So I was there for too long. He went idle and just started mining. That, get some that, some more blood mushrooms from there. Got some more Draugr down there, which is weird. I thought it was skeletons in that area, but maybe I was wrong. Yeah. Oh. Oh. By drawing your weapon when you're colliding. Okay. Oh, I see. Maybe because, like, to get them through doorways or something. I guess. I don't know. Wouldn't you need to, like, be backing up into them then to get them to move back? Maybe. I don't know. Archery increases. Did him using a bow level up my archery or something? Like, what just happened? Like, why did I just get an archery upgrade? I honestly don't know. Now, I do believe maybe that this is where the frost troll spawns if you're a high enough level. I think. And then there's an extra dead body down here or something, but I'm not 100% on that. It's been a long time since I came in here at a level that wasn't, like, you know, less than 10. And I do believe that actually in that playthrough that I ended up here so late was because it was a modded one, and I used the alternate start to set myself in Rift in, and what the hell? It was, oh right, it was, and I was trying to clear every location on the map, and I figured I'd start in Rift in since it's off in the corner, and then I could just work my way out from it. But then I wasn't obviously getting dragon souls or dragons. So I had to come here and do the quests in order to get the dragons to start spawning. I think there's 1 or 2 dragons you can fight. without progressing the main quest to the point where they start spawning, but it's very specific dragons. And even then, I'm not sure, because like there's one. Oh no, I guess you wouldn't be able to fight that one because you need to have a shout already. Maybe if you do the Dawnguard DLC, assuming you can do that before you are the Dragonborn. Maybe if you do the Dawnguard DLC, because there's 2 dragons that spawn there, and they have nothing to do with what's happening in the main game. So maybe you could do that, get the... I wonder what would happen if you did that. Now I'm fucking curious. I don't think you can start the Dawnguard DLC until you're like level 9 or 10 or something, but... kind of interested now to see like what would happen if you already get like your Unrelenting Force shout, because like there's 2 dragons there, and then once you have Unrelenting Force you can then go into Blackreach and fight another dragon. So theoretically you could get what, 3
Don't like the looks of this.
3 dragon souls without actually awakening any dragons. I think that's all the dragons that you would be able to get. I mean, I could obviously be very wrong, but... Come on down. As you can see, the oil does significant damage. Ow, Faendal, you want to deal with that? Whoops. Oh, I'd like your bone meal thing. Dude's kind of being a dick, and you are my archer. Let's see, how much damage does he do? Yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of damage. I mean, that was like not quite half his health. Or he had like a little bit over half his health gone and he killed him. So I mean, it's pretty good. Not going to bother to take the arrows because Faendal doesn't actually use arrows as far as I'm aware. Unless the... No, that wouldn't be something they would change for that mod. That would be a weird... Don't know why they would downgrade it. Because as long as your follower has an arrow, they will have infinite arrows. So give them 1 dragon bone arrow and then they have infinite dragon bone arrows. Take what? Oh, ancient Nord arrow. As you can see, lots of flame or oil pools on the ground to set on fire. Can't get... Well, no, I guess you can get flaming arrows, I think, because you can enchant your bow to do fire damage, which isn't really flaming arrows, but at the same time, I mean, may as well be. Alright, so we got... None of these are currently correct. Now, I do believe that this is the correct one, but...
Still here.
Yeah, nailed it. Good thing I look at me remembering stuff. But yeah, people also complain about that being a puzzle, where it's like you need the claw to open the door, but the password for the door, or you need the claw and a password to open the door, but the password for the door is on the claw that you need. And I get it. But once again, it's like, if they made, you have to do it often enough that if they made it harder, people would also be annoyed by it. So, I mean,
Would you look at that?
yeah, look at it. It's a big word wall. We'll be seeing a few of those throughout this Let's Play. So over here, you have a chest that you may or may not know about. And then there's another chest. We won't go up to the wall yet. Because if we go around here, which if you're playing on a higher difficulty, this is actually a very good way to cheese the enemy, the boss of this dungeon. Because if you go over here, there's a chest that's locked. But if you're over here, you can, the enemy, like the boss can't reach you. So you can hide behind the word wall, because that's what this is. This here's the word wall. and just poke your head out and shoot them, and then hide back behind it and keep getting sneak attacks in that. If you're on a higher difficulty or you're just having trouble with them. So yeah, this word wall, I actually have a thing up here because I wanted to see if somebody translated it. So this word wall says, "Here lies the guardian, keeper of Dragonstone, and a force of unending rage and darkness." So if we go up here, we learn the word force, and we unleash the Draugr Overlord, who can shout at us. Good God, Flames takes like no fucking magic at all to cast, does it? Like, good God. So he has the 25 weight Dragonstone, which I do believe, even though you take it and it says 25 weight, it's a quest item, so it doesn't take that. And then he always drops a Frost Weapon, which I don't care about. I also pick up Soul Gems to sell, just because once again, they're really cheap. So this, target won't flee for 60 seconds and get some extra healthy stamina. Obviously, that is something that you use on your companions, or anybody who's fighting with you, or if you're in some area that has, like, different factions fighting each other and you want to make sure one of them wins, you can cast that, but you do have to be careful with it, because I do believe there are certain enemies where even if you cast Courage on them, which is a buff, they will still then turn hostile because you use magic on them. And man, I am really overestimating how long it takes me to get through some of these places. I was like, oh, Embershard Mine will take a bit, so we wouldn't have time to do it. And it's like, and then Bleak Falls will take too long, so we won't be able to. So I mean, that'll be a part all by itself. It's not, because we're done. Take the red mountain flower, the purple one, red, purple, blue, blue. Right. Got this nice little shrine here. For some reason, don't know why. It's way in the back. We have no knowledge of who it may or may not be.
Still here.
Yep, I would hope so. Here we got a lock-picking potion, and I think that's it for that direction. I want to say there might be a chest over here, but once again, that could very easily just be another dungeon where you exit out onto a cliff somewhere. But yeah, on the map, so like we started all the way over there. As you can see, it says cleared there, and Embershard also says cleared. Now, we are going to go for every location saying cleared, but there are certain locations where even after you clear them, it doesn't say it for some reason. And then there's obviously some locations like the towns or the Guardian Stones and that'll never say it because, I mean, you can't really do anything to clear them. Oh, look at that. One of the very few invisible walls in this game. Go. But now we can take the claw back to Lucan. I think there is a mining node out here that's like a little bit. It's not an iron one, so I like the more advanced ores, but I'm not overly worried about finding it. If I see it, I'll mine it. Same with like any mining node. Like I always carry the pickaxe with me because if I find a node, I'll mine it. But it's very rare that I'll actually seek out any nodes. The only time I will actually seek out nodes is if I specifically need ore for a quest. Which there are a few quests where you need ore, but they're very rare. And most of the time you can also buy it. But the thing with that is, even though you can buy it, a lot of the time the more advanced metals and that, you can't buy the ore, you can only buy the ingots. Because I think that the whether or not they sell it is still stealing. Yeah. I figured I'd check. I didn't think that it wouldn't be, but yeah, I think there's like a level as to like when merchants will sell stuff. Like they always will have a chance of selling us like any of the ores or metals. But then like as you level up, the spawn rate in their inventory changes. So like as you level up, there will be a greater chance of them having the more advanced ores over the lesser one, or the advanced metals in that. But yeah, there are certain ores that you very rarely actually see them carrying the ore, or more than, or like, even if they carry it, they'll carry like one, like moon silver, for example. I don't even know what you use it for, in all honesty. But that's one of them, where it's like, you have it, but like, or like you can buy it at pretty much any point, but it's very rare for them to have more than one silver ore ingot. Moon silver, right? That is, no, quicksilver maybe, not moon silver. What's moon silver? Moon silver is a different game.
You're back from Bleak Falls. Did you find anything? You found it! There it is! Strange. It seems smaller than I remember. Funny thing, huh? I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister.
Okay. So yeah, he slaps that there, gives you some gold. You can obviously steal it back.
For taking care of those thieves. The Riverwood Trader is back to the way it used to be. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Still has the 8 gold, but let's see what he actually sells. Nothing good there. Nothing. Oh, he sells a few things there. Not necessarily horrid. Clairvoyance, Frostbite, Fury, Lesser Ward, Oak Flesh, and Ray Zombie. Anything useful here? I mean, obviously glass, goat horns. Those are used in straw. Those are all used in the Hearthfire buildings. Oh, but we're not going to be doing that anytime too soon. And now that we've done that, actually, you can see that we can take the gold.
You and me.
Because since we've done the quest, it has now raised our affinity with him. So we can now once again take anything that is under, I don't know, 45 or something, right? And he doesn't care, which is weird. I mean, like, I have friends that I would like give them stuff if they asked me, but if they just like walked into my house and just started like took the change off of my table or something, right? So as you saw there, it says steal on that, and yet nobody cared that I took anything out of there. I don't know why that is. Like, I know why they didn't care, but I don't know why it says steal. I think just because it's an own chest. Also, I do believe that if we're up here, he might. Although, if our affinity with him is up, he might not. And we did the quest for him and Camilla, which both of them live here. Gold. Read Songs of the Return, and we'll take that because we don't have that book yet. Dresser, Blacksmith Shoes and Apron, Volume 2, 19, and 7. Well, you know what? We'll take all of them. Because I don't think we have any of the Songs of the Return. Ah, yeah, see, he doesn't like us being up here. Now, here's the thing, right? It's not red when it says unlock chest, but I still don't know if he cares if, and odds are there's nothing really all that good anyway, so.
Still here.
Yeah, I know you are, Faendal, and actually, come to think of it.
I'm right behind.
Update, because you should have leveled up with me, right? Yeah, so you have 10 stats remaining, so let's bump your health up. And how many of this do you have left? You have 7 skills remaining. Well, your archery's at 33, so let's just bump that up to 40, shall we? Alright. Still don't know how to give them perks or anything, but I'm not totally worried about it. Quest log. Where is Lily? Yeah, oh, I see. I don't even know what the hell that one is. I mean, obviously it has to do with the mod I downloaded that changed the courier, but I don't know why it has that as a quest. I mean, Lily was also right there. Maybe if I had talked to her, maybe it's just tracking her down, but I don't know why you would need to track down the courier. I mean, just wait for them to come to you. I mean, you get fucking letters constantly. So we'll head towards Whiterun. And go in just to get in there, I guess. We won't start the next... Although, we could... Although, is that... Do you do that before or after you fight the dragon? Come here, wolf. You also may notice I'm taking these wolf pelts, but I left the one that was in the chest in the house, because I don't care. I'll take it from the ones I killed, but all I do is turn it into leather so that I can craft stuff. So there's very little reason. And even then, I don't always turn it into leather. I will, I'll store it in a chest because there are certain things in the Hearthfire buildings that do also require specific pelts. Oh, this guy must be taking his cow to the giant.
I'd stay away if I were you. I'm on my way to a giant camp, and I can't guarantee those beasts won't think you're part of the offering. Keep your distance, and you shouldn't have anything to worry about. The cow, of course. Others do it differently. But I found that an annual offering usually keeps the giants away from our livestock. Some think it's superstition, but I believe it works. I've yet to have a giant kill any of my livestock. It's tradition. We mark the animal as a way to let the giants know we're giving it to them willingly. Sort of a peace offering. I have everything under control. Thanks for offering.
Alright, good luck.
You take care of yourself now.
I have no idea where he's going, by the way, because the closest giant camp that I know of, like, we're right here. And the closest giant camp that I know of is over here somewhere. It might be, like, right next to this or a little bit closer to Whiterun. It's somewhere around there anyway. So, I mean, he seems to be awfully far away from any giants to have to be worried about them attacking his livestock. Normally, actually, and I say normally because, like, it happens a weird amount of time, even though it's a random encounter. On my first trip to Whiterun from Riverwood, I usually come across a patrol of Imperial soldiers with a Stormcloak prisoner. And, like, it happens a lot. So now there's also an event that's about to happen up ahead. That has two different outcomes, neither of which change anything. It's just whether or not you manage to do damage. So we're actually about to see a giant off in the distance there. Where are we? Oh, so I guess it's a little bit further ahead. There it is. So the giant will always be empty.
You handle yourself well. You could make for a decent shield, brother. An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Codlac Whitemane up in Jorvaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
So yeah, this here is what can take two different things. So they're guaranteed to win the fight. The giant will never have anything on him. And she will always talk to you immediately after it's killed, as long as, because as you walk by, they'll kill the giant, and then she'll come and talk to you. And she will chase you down a little ways, but not, like, super far. But anyway, if you do damage like we did, like I cast my fire spell, it did nothing, basically. But the point is, as long as you do 1 point of damage to the giant, she will come up to you and say that, like, oh, you would make a decent shield, brother. If you don't manage to do any damage to them, then what happens instead is she comes up and makes some comment about you just watching them do it or whatever. She basically calls you a little bitch because you didn't help in the fight. But now, as you saw there, when you get there, that giant gets fucking melted. Like, there is like very, very small window of opportunity if you don't have a bow to damage that giant. Um, but anyway, so this is Pelagia Farm.
I'm right behind you.
We're going to quickly clear this location, and we're done. There is nothing overly important in this location. There's some random loot. Obviously, you can take some of their farming stuff. You have the little cottage here with people inside of it. You got a guard. As per usual, I think you can not use that. There's one later that you can use, or maybe it's the one that you build in Hearthfire. But yeah, like they have some books and some random miscellaneous items, but there's nothing really of import here. The other location we unlocked is Hunting Brew Meadery, which we could go into and do some stuff, but it's worthless until you get there during the Thieves Guild quest, because you cannot get everything that's there until after you finish the Thieves Guild quest line. And here we have...
Friends. I have something for you. Here.
Thanks. I didn't know we were friends. I didn't even speak to you before. But anyway, here is obviously the Whiterun stables. And there is not a whole lot here either. Once again, you have the little building there, got people outside. They have a horse here that you can steal, and if you go and talk to the guy, who obviously we can't talk to him right now because it's nighttime, there he is. Go and talk to this guy, Sable Hilt.
In all of Skyrim. None of them's older than 9, and the youngest is 6. Now the horse I got for sale is 7 years old, but in fine health. She's got a lot of spirit, that one. We've taken to calling her Queen Aufsiger, or just Ali for short. I expect you can name her anything you like, once she's yours. Suppose so. Got one all saddled if you've got the coin.
So yeah, 1,000 gold to buy a horse. You can buy a horse at any stable. You can also get a couple for free. I don't actually know if this is the horse that you get if you buy it. It's a black horse that you get, but I don't know if that's considered black or not. But either way, just like a lot of little locations, there isn't any items of import at the Whiterun stables. It is just another marker that you can fast travel to, basically. That just adds some flavor to the countryside and to the game world, which is always nice, which I always appreciate.
There's a nip
So,
in the air.
Severo Pelagia,
Good for my
this is the
crops.
guy
Never
whose
is.
farm we were just at, where the giant was. He does not sleep at the farm. I think his farm, I think he has like 1 or 2 farm hands that sleep in the house that's there. And that's about it.
Halt. City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack. So any of these will get you in. I don't think that you can fail the persuasion or intimidate. And obviously you can just go Riverwood calls for the Jarl's aid. That would also work. But if you use the persuade in that, you do get credit for towards your speech skill.
Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
But yeah, there's like very, very little And then just like in Riverwood, there aren't really that many like important items in here. There are some items that you can get in Whiterun itself that aren't necessarily easy to get anywhere else, but at the same time, they're all available other places. So I mean,
Still here.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd
You're
sooner
heading
bend
east,
my
steer
knee to
clear of
Ulfric's
Hillgrant's tomb.
Stormcloak.
Thing about those old
Besides,
crypts,
Greymane
having
would
trouble
never make
staying
steel
down
for
here.
the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't
Still
expect a miracle.
right.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
So
He's
yeah,
someone who can get things done.
this
I
is
like
another blacksmith.
Aye, that I do. I've got to, if I hope to be as good as Yorland Greymane someday. In fact, I just finished my best piece of work. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl, Balgroof the Greater. It's a surprise. I don't even know if he'll accept it, but... Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? He's the Jarl's steward. He'll know the right time to present it to him. Thanks. Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill. But you're probably more interested in your Vasker, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary.
All right.
Don't forget to check inside the shop.
And then obviously you can buy and sell stuff there. We also have the Drunken Huntsman there, which is another shop that sells archery focused stuff. There are a lot of buildings around this here's Breeze Home, which we will be able to buy shortly, actually. How much gold do we have? I don't think that we have enough gold to buy it, but, you know, technically it is a thing that we can do. But we'll head into Bellathor's General Goods. In my latest playthrough of this game, at some point Bellathor died on me.
Got something
And
for
I
just
did not
about
know it.
everybody in here. Everything's for sale. Some may call this
Yeah,
junk.
yeah.
Me, I call them treasure.
What do I even have? Yeah, we can have that. Actually, you can have all of these. And the steel sword that I have for some reason. Have that. That. The rest of that I'm keeping. Frostbite Venom Potion. There's healing. I don't have any. Also, when you're selling stuff, even if you can sell, like if we went to sell those 14, it's better not to sell them all at once. If you have multiples of stuff and you have enough that you can sell them all at once, it's still better not to, because each time that you sell something, no matter how much it's worth, it gets you a point, or it gets you points towards your speech skill. Whereas if you sell, like if you sell 14 of something, you get, let's say, 1 point. If you sell 14 of something one at a time, you get 14 points, which is obviously better. And see, speech increased. Which I realized that the last time I was selling stuff, I didn't do that, and I just sold it all at once, but that was oops.
Foolish old woman.
Let's see.
Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Who else? Because I don't think that we have anything, because I don't think she'll buy the gems from me. The inn won't sell the gems, or she won't buy the gems, she won't buy the gems. I ran out of potions. Oh, we can also do this quest real fast.
With you around. About the same as everyone else. They're the catfolk of elsewhere. Great warriors, good traders. Way I hear it, elsewhere ain't nothing like Skyrim. It's got tropical forests and dusty badlands. It sounds awful. Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them. Reputation, mostly. A lot of Khajiit turn to smuggling and thievery to get by. A few bad apples spoil the bunch. You know how it is. Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day, I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madron. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future?
Okay. So yeah, now bring a mammoth tusk. Now you might think, oh, you gotta go kill a mammoth for that. Well, you do and you don't. We're gonna cheat a little bit here. Hopefully, if we can manage it. As you can see, there's a mammoth tusk right here. And if you hold your interact button, you'll actually carry the item like this. Whoops.
Still here.
And people don't care if you're carrying it like that. Now, in here, I do believe that nobody owns that room.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom?
And this is pretty much every time that I do this quest. This is what I do. Like as soon as, or like one of the first things I do when I get to Whiterun is do this quest. Because you're hidden, boosh.
Yes, Mom? I'll be needing you to knock the place down extra tonight. Lots of spills.
Certainly, Mom.
Ah yes, and this is Sadia. We'll be dealing with her later. But anyway, we have the mammoth tusk, which is the important bit.
Come to chat with an old woman,
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda. I spend a lot of time at the market stall, so thank you. This should turn that old cat's gaze. Maybe I'll be able to become a caravaneer myself one day. As promised, let me show you a thing or two about bargaining. Don't want some shifty merchant giving you a raw trade.
Alright. So there you go, speech. Gives us a little bit of speech increase. We brought it, completed the quest, boosh, done. Super easy, super quick. You can also go out and get a mammoth tusk legit without just stealing it, but I mean, why bother when you can just do that?
It's a shame, isn't it?
We are going to go up and I realized I said we weren't really going to do anything in here once we got here, but I don't care. Once again, there's a few quests that we need to do, and we won't get to all of them today, that take place basically in Whiterun. And we can start a few that we won't be finishing up until later. And we still do not have nearly enough.
My lord, please.
What's the meaning of this?
Hello, Irlith.
Jarl Balgruth is not receiving visitors.
I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Okie dokie. Hello, Mr. Balgruth.
Helgen, you saw this dragon with your own eyes?
Yes, I had a great view while the Imperials were trying to cut off my head. Or, let's not say that we were a prisoner and say the dragon destroyed Helgen, and last I saw it was heading this way.
By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Leave me out of your intrigues, Hrongar. If you have something to say to the Jarl, say it with your own tongue.
Okay, so actually, come on, Balgruff, you can, come on, Jarl, get your ass over there. Which would be an interesting thing to actually try and say to a real Jarl. Well, although I don't think that there are any real Jarls anymore in real life, but I mean, you know.
Farengar. I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
Let's see. What does this have to do with dragons? Or, alright, where am I going and what am I fetching?
Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right?
Yeah, he's kind of
I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Oh, you mean this old stone?
Ah, the dragon stone of Bleak Falls Barrow. You already found it. You are cut from a different cloth than the usual brutes the Jarl foists on me.
I got you the Dragonstone. What next?
That is where your job ends and mine begins. The work of the mind, sadly undervalued in Skyrim.
Alright, so now he should also be a merchant.
So, you wish to master the arcane arts?
Not really, I just kind of want to push a bunch of scrolls off on you, because I know you have money. And I'd like to buy a house, but don't have the money myself to do so. Alright, well, I thought you might buy gems, but I guess not.
Is the best weapon you have.
Farengar, you need to come at once. A dragon's been sighted nearby. You should come too.
A dragon? How exciting. Where was it seen? What was it doing?
I'd take this a bit more seriously if I were you. If a dragon decides to attack Whiterun, I don't know if we can stop it. Let's go.
So yeah, this quest here that we're currently on. Obviously that was what I meant about the two birds in one stone, Bleak Falls Barrow. Because you get the Dragonstone and then when you come here you immediately complete the quest.
Yes, my lord.
Tell him what you told me about the dragon.
Oh, that's right. We saw it coming from the south. It was fast. Faster than anything I've ever seen.
What did it do? Is it attacking the watchtower?
No, my lord. It was just circling overhead when I left. I never ran so fast in my life. I thought it would come after me, for sure.
Good work, son. We'll take it from here. Head down to the barracks for some food and rest. You've earned it. Irileth, you'd better gather some guardsmen and get down there.
I've already ordered my men to muster near the main gate.
Good. Don't fail me. There's no time to stand on ceremony, my friend. I need your help again. I want you to go with Irileth and help her fight this dragon. You survived Helgen, so you have more experience with dragons than anyone else here. But I haven't forgotten the service you did for me in retrieving the Dragonstone for Farengar. As a token of my esteem, I have instructed Avenici that you are now permitted to purchase property in the city. And please, accept this gift from my personal armory. Help Irileth kill this dragon before it can attack Whiterun.
Alright, so the quest marker is above her head, but she's not actually... Like, we don't actually need to talk to her right now because she needs to get to the location. I also don't know why I came back up there. I don't need Farengar, I need the other guy. There he is. Hey, Preventus.
I serve Jarl Balgruff as steward. From Adrian? Ah, this must be that weapon for the Jarl. Poor girl. So eager to prove herself. I'll present it to Balgruff when his mood is agreeable. Thank you. Please, take these few coins for services rendered.
Ooh, 20 gold. What would he fucking do? Alright.
Enjoy your visit.
So we still need 1,100 more gold. We have a few more things that we can do, including going and forging some stuff to get it, but I don't have to do that on camera, and whether or not I actually get enough gold, because here's the thing, right? It's 5,000 gold to buy it, but then if you want to upgrade it, which obviously we do, it then costs even more. Oh yeah, and then this is Heimskar. He's the one worshipper of Talos that's still in Whiterun. And he stands there and just preaches all day. Now, the other thing is there's an old lady here at a jewelry shop, and obviously, jewelry shop, you should be able to sell your gems there. Yes, but you have to do a quest for her, because as soon as you talk to her, she wants you to meet her somewhere, and then when you go to meet, and then she leaves. And until you go and talk to her, there's no point. So this is the smelter, all that ore that we've been getting. We can now make it into actual ingots, so we can use it. Iron ore, 1 iron ore equals 1 ingot, but other ones, as you can see, orichalcum requires 2 ore. Most of them require 2, and then there's 1. There it is, corundrum. Oh, no, that isn't it. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I could have swore there was something that required... Oh, there it is. For steel, you need corundrum and iron. That's what it is. The ore is not... No, actually, we'll do that. Okay. Some leather. Let's make some strips, just so we have it. And then we'll just make some daggers. Because like I said, we won't be building a house anytime soon. I'm just trying to get my smithing up for this. But yeah, that'll be it for this part. You can hear Aerolith talking to her men, and then they'll head out. They don't start anything until you get there, so you don't have to worry about like them getting hurt or failing the quest or anything. There are very few quests that you can fail in Skyrim, and the ones that you can generally don't involve a timer that you can just fail because you didn't show up, you know? Okay, got that, and then fuck it, we'll just make some hide. Make that hide helmet, 1 strip and 2 leather. 2 strips and 1 leather. Probably be some bracers then. Now, unfortunately, using the smelter and using the tanning rack does not do anything for your smithing. You actually have to make stuff or upgrade stuff to increase your smithing. Okay, so 1 more use of this. Don't know why I keep going up. And that's it. That should be everything we can make, and then we can sell all of this crap.
I'm right behind you. Got some good... Looking to protect yourself? Or deal some damage?
Okay. Like I said, you want to sell... Man, she has 1,100 gold, eh? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to sell them all. I don't care enough about it. Also, did I say I have iron arrows? Get rid of those. Get rid of all those. Iron armor restoration. Well, we can... Oh, steel armor. That can go. Now, the iron armor of restoration we can either sell for some money, but it's still not going to give us the 5,000 we need, or we can use that to increase our enchanting, which I think is a better use for it. And you know what? Here, buy my steel ingots and my leather, and you can even have my goat hide, because until I actually start to buy some... I'm probably going to regret that greatly. Not going to lie. At some point, like when I'm building the house, I'm like going to need that... I'm going to need that goat hide, and I'm going to be like 1 goat hide short of something. So, just a couple things I want to say about a couple of the other mods I have. Like I said, I do have a couple of mods that change marriage and adoptions. So, both of those will be coming into play during this. But how much of that you'll see, I don't know. Because since none of it has to do like with the actual game, I doubt that I'll worry about showing you guys any of that. So just there's points where you might just see that like a spouse and kids just show up. I'll probably show you the marriage at some point. Potentially soon, but not necessarily. Pickpocket, speech, buying and selling prices are better, and actually I'll get both of those. Gold, while not a problem, it is always nice to have. So that'll be it for this part. Next part, we will continue with the main quest and then do a couple more quests. Like I said, there's a few more quests that we can start in Whiterun, and another quest like the Mammoth one that will take place entirely within.
I'm right behind you.
Whiterun. Well, actually, it takes place entirely in the Hall of the Dead. But either way, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.